This is for Cameron. Cam.
What's up, Mountaineer fans? My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you've found yourself at Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. I'd like to welcome you in. We talk college football here. We talk West Virginia football. We talk Big 12 football. We cover the sport nationally. This is a college football channel. We will also be covering into college basketball season when that time comes around. But at the end of the day, it's all about the Mountaineers here. And we're going to be talking about a subject today that is not something that anybody wants to talk about, but it is time. It's past time for the Mountaineers to go a different direction at quarterback. And I have some stats I'm going to use to back that up. I want to go on record now and say I don't think J.T. Daniel's a bad player. I think J.T. Daniels is in a bad situation. I think that we're calling the games in a vanilla-like fashion, and it's not conducive to somebody who is immobile, such as he is, and also being productive at the quarterback spot. And the numbers back that up. He's not had a good QBR or rating according to Pro Football Focus all year long. It's all been pretty average, 60, 65. He now has 9 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, right around 1,500 yards passing, which is most of the quarterbacks in the Big 12 at this point. He's contributed nothing to the run game. And now, somehow, he forgets to make checks to the line of scrimmage. If you listen to the writers, Mike Casazza and Chris Anderson, they talk about it. Terrell Chestnut on my page earlier, we had a tweet that went back and forth talking about the zone read and why would we run this with a guy like J.T. Daniels at quarterback, the backside defensive end. There's no accountability. Who is he crashing down on? The running back. It's definitely not the quarterback. JT is no threat to pull that thing. And so why that call is being made, I don't know. There's really no other explanation for it. On the game, J.T. Daniels is 23 to 36, 194 touchdown, 194 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Not a good day. Some people say he was thrown into the wind. Well, yes, so was Texas Tech's quarterback as well. And another thing is that this is not the only mediocre performance of the year for JT. He's only had one other 3-touchdown performance in a game, and that was against Kansas all the way back in week 2. He's only had one 300-yard game all season, subsequently also against Kansas. And so I've come to the conclusion that JT just doesn't raise the talent of the men around him. When you have an elite quarterback, they make the players around them better. Peyton Manning made players around him better. Lamar Jackson does the same thing when he's healthy. Patrick Mahomes, same deal. Even Baron Morton. He made plays today that were phenomenal for a redshirt freshman or sophomore or whatever he is down there. It's the second game he ever started, and you would have thought that he was the fifth-year guy and not J.T. Daniels. J.T. Daniels makes a throw to Reese Smith down the sideline right before halftime, a momentum-changing play. And what happens? He underthrows the ball, and it's picked off, which is I'll give the DB credit. It was a great play. And to that point, of course, Texas Tech deserves some credit. But unless every recruiting analyst for the last 4 to 5 years is wrong, there's no way we should be dominated in this fashion by Texas Tech. And as a matter of fact, we outrank them in almost every recruiting metric that you can look at. So it's not a talent thing. Did we have some talent leave? Yes, we did. Did they? Yes, they did. Everybody here is facing the same deficiencies. So I don't buy that argument at all. At the end of the day, there's only one thing and one thing only it can come down to outside of coaching. What's the most influential thing in football outside of a coach? That's your quarterback. And I don't know. If we had somebody that had some mobility today, could we have moved the chains a few more times? Because we weren't able to do it all game long. Could we have moved the chains with a more mobile guy at quarterback? I don't know. When the backside defensive end crashed down on C.J. Donaldson, didn't give a second look to J.T. Daniels. What if Garrett Green's there? What if Nico Marchiol's there? What if Duke Crowder's there? Those three guys are all mobile guys. That means the backside defensive end, and it just happened to be a corner blitz that play as well. They've got to pause and give the quarterback a look. And if there's a hole made by the offensive line, the running back can go through it. But without that threat, the zone stretch is just not going to work. It makes absolutely no sense. And so, for a few reasons, I feel like JT should be benched. For number one, it's time to get the future ready in Morgantown. You need to figure out who it is, Neil Brown. Figure it out. If you can go on some type of run, maybe win 2 or 3 games with a guy like Nico or Goose at the helm, maybe you can get somebody to keep you by the end of the season. Maybe you have a slim chance at that, of being the coach at the end of this season, maybe the end of this month. Who knows what's going to happen? Shane Lyons has got to be feeling the heat in Morgantown as well. But I don't see what J.T. Daniels is doing. If he can't win football games, what's the point in keeping him? There is none. And another thing, one of my keys going into today's game, said it all week long on numerous shows. I was on 4 different shows this past week. If you watched any college football pregame deal, you probably saw me on it somewhere. Texas Tech ran 103 plays today. I said it all week long. If they get to 100 plays, we don't win this football game. We just don't have the horses. We do not have the horses to play 100 plays on defense, obviously. I know people are going to say, the back end. I know the back end sucks. But there are more variables than just the back end. If you can't stop somebody on defense, then you've got to outscore them. And I don't know about you, but what would you rather try to solve right now? How our defense looks or how our offense has looked at times during the season? Seems like the offense is fixable. I don't know about the defense until the offseason. Thank God there's a transfer portal. And so, new blood, somebody that knows the system, maybe it is Garrett Green. Maybe I'm underestimating Garrett Green. I'm willing to obviously give him a look. Garrett Green can come in and play really well. Do I have questions about him? Yes. I question his size. I don't question his heart. I don't question his arm strength. He's got a very strong arm. He struggles with the intermediate throws. At least he has shown to on tape in the past. If he's cleaned some of that stuff up, then who knows? But then, and yet again, kind of working against my JT argument a little bit is these receivers and how little separation they do get. I get that. But guess what? If you have a quarterback that can go on what they call a scramble drill, kind of like what Russell Wilson used to do in Seattle and was Wisconsin and even NC State before that, you go into what's called a scramble drill. You go off schedule. There are several different things you can do when you have a quarterback that's able to get off schedule and make those DBs work a little bit for it. And that's what we need in Morgantown. At the end of the day, we need a quarterback that can make off-schedule throws. Who's it going to be? I don't know. You tell me down in the comments. If you haven't liked this video, please take a second here and like it. If you haven't subscribed to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football, please do so. I'll be covering West Virginia Mountaineer athletics for the foreseeable future on in the basketball season. So we're going to be doing that. We got a lot of stuff lined up. I've got more videos ahead this week. We're going to be talking Neil Brown, of course. And we're also still going to preview TCU. I know there are Mountaineer fans out there that probably think we don't have much of a chance against a team that we beat last year in what was probably Charles Wood's coming out party. But not too excited about that at this point. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. It's over, and I'm out.
This is for Cameron. Tim Kell.